guys, welcome back to my channel for another video. Thank you so much for checking out today's video. I want to share with you guys a few really awesome updates from the Good and the Beautiful, as well as an exciting announcement that you may or may not have seen. And then I want to take you guys through 3 different lessons, 3 different levels of the upper levels of language arts from the Good and the Beautiful. It is my mission and my goal to continue to share with you guys helpful information, especially for those upper grades that there's not a ton of people sharing about. So what I did was I went and grabbed my daughter's level 6 language arts, my son's level 8 book studies, and my other son's high school 3, which is the last high school level of language arts or English from the Good and the Beautiful. And what I do is I just show you guys what their lesson is looking like that day. I thought this would be very helpful for you guys who are homeschooling younger children and coming behind me to have an idea of how the language arts you're currently using, if you're using the Good and the Beautiful, is going to progress and take you to the last and final years of high school. So this video is going to be a little mashup. I hope you enjoy it, and I do want to thank the Good and the Beautiful for partnering with me on today's. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to share with you guys is a bit of good news and a bit of you're gonna have to wait news. If you missed it, this is a brand new series written by Jenny Phillips. This is the Badger Hills Farm book series. There are 6 books that came in this series, and this is a continuation of a story that was included in Language Arts Level 3, the most recently revised one. And there was so much wonderful feedback on that story. Kids were absolutely loving it, mine included, that Jenny and the team wanted to write an entire series of books to continue on with that story. So this is the series. They are 3B level readers. However, kids who are much older can still enjoy reading these books. And the illustrations and the covers, they're just so great. Now here's the you're gonna have to wait news. These sold out in a flash. They were completely gone, and the Good and the Beautiful was blown away by the response. I do know that they are working to potentially bring them back, so make sure you are following them on their socials, their Instagram, as well as signed up for their newsletter so that when they send out an announcement, if and when, you will be the first to know about it, so you can grab these if your child would love to continue to read the story that was started in Language Arts Level 3. Now the next thing is a personal thing to me. I have been a The Good and the Beautiful user for about a decade now, and just recently, I have downloaded the Homeschool App right here from the Good and the Beautiful. That's what it looks like. If you go into your app store on your iPhone, there will be a few different apps from the Good and the Beautiful that will pop up. You want the one that is homeschool. Now here's why this is great. If you're doing any of their science units, all you have to do is click on that app, and you're going to have access to all of the videos here. Of course, when I'm filming, it's going to slow down, but it's so much faster than navigating. So you can see language arts, little hearts and hands science right here. And then down here, math, science, and health. So if you are doing a science unit, you would simply tap that, find your unit, and then all of the videos that go along with your science unit are easily found there, and they play like that. So for me, that's much better than needing to navigate to YouTube to turn that on for my kids. Plus the ads can sometimes be distracting if they play. And so I just am like, why didn't I download this app a lot sooner? So you can download the Good and the Beautiful homeschooling app in the App Store, and it'll be very convenient for you to have if you are using any of their curriculum. All right, along to the next update. if you guys follow The Good and the Beautiful on YouTube, you saw that they put out a sneak peek flip through of Math 7. That is the next level of math that I am going to potentially be using for my daughter. And so I was so excited to see this. This has been in the works for a long, long time, as The Good and the Beautiful wants it to be absolutely perfect, absolutely simple for the child and the parent, and that gets even more difficult as the math concepts get higher and higher and higher. So it's taken some time, but as with all things, worth the wait. So if you haven't watched that video, head over to their channel, which I have their channels linked directly on my YouTube to make it easier for you guys, but I'll also link it in the description so you can head over there and check out Math 7 if you have been wondering and waiting on it like I have. Okay, and the last and final update that I have for you guys, it's more of really an announcement, and it's one from my heart to yours. So if you have been around my channel and you have been a regular viewer of my channel for many, many years, I know that I have reached tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of you guys who have become The Good and the Beautiful users thanks to my sharing or thanks to seeing how it's worked so well in my family, and I am so blessed to share. Since I've been working with The Good and the Beautiful for a very long time, from the very beginning of the company to where they are now, there have been some changes. Things cannot always remain the same, and I have been keeping you guys updated with things along the way, which leads me to this announcement. I do want to let you guys know that after almost 9 years, 8 years, it's been a long time, I have never, ever had a trackable link that tells The Good and the Beautiful that this customer has come from Grace and Grit. And now I do. And I am announcing that here to share with you guys because I've been asked hundreds, thousands of times through the years, Ashley, do you have a link? I would love to let The Good and the Beautiful know that you sent me. I would love to know that you were the one that gave me the information I needed, that made me switch over to The Good and the Beautiful. And I've always had to tell you guys, thank you so much for asking, but there is no way for them to know. I'm just happy that you found the information. However, now I do have a unique tracking link. So if you would like to let The Good and the Beautiful know that you heard about their curriculum from me, even if it was 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, because that's how long I've been sharing here with you guys on YouTube. I will always be posting my link in my recent, this month going forward, YouTube videos for The Good and the Beautiful. I will also be updating my Instagram so that that link will be easily found for you guys, because as the company has grown, so has their need to see where people are hearing information from, where people are being told about the curriculum in the company. And so if you're someone who has wanted to support me and share that with them at no additional cost to you, it's just simply a link, then I would greatly appreciate that. So those are all of the updates I wanted to run through with you guys. And now I'm going to show you a look at 3 different levels, 3 different lessons of language arts, so you can see how it progresses and just get an idea of what those upper levels are looking like. Okay, so my daughter in the 6th grade is currently doing level 6 language arts. I was going to show you guys the cover. That's what it looks like. And she is on lesson 52 today, which starts with the spelling word practice, sentence dictation for these 3, which focuses on grammar, spelling, punctuation. Then she is doing a read aloud section to me here, reading about Elizabeth Kenny. We've been doing a lot of lessons on that. And then she is to read chapter 15 of this book, and then we are to discuss these questions together on the book, a little grammar section, and choosing the correct word for the sentence down here. And that is the summary of her lesson, with the exception of doing memorization. So states and capitals, or her punctuation, what are the cards? The geography and grammar cards, that's what they're called. So this is the book. So that is a look at a typical lesson for her in level 6. Every day is different, but this is what she's doing today, and that will give you a decent idea of what level 6 is like. I do have her check things off as she completes them. That helps us both. And we do everything on here. So I don't break it up or shorten it. We do it all. That's our preference. So that is what a typical language arts lesson for level 6 is like.
On one occasion, when this superintendent of a hospital reluctantly permitted her to see his polio patients, he refused to accompany her during her visit. "I don't want anyone to see us together," he said. "It might hurt the prestige of the hospital, you know."
California. Emperor. Irregular. Here you go. 3 times each. Okay, so the next level that I am going to show you guys a typical lesson of is the level 8 book study. My 8th grade son is doing all of the book studies The Good and the Beautiful offers for this year. The book studies are what they sound like. You read the book and then they come with these booklets basically that they are completing. So I want to get on to his next lesson so you guys can get an idea of what a typical lesson is in the book study. He's done quite a bit of this. So I'm getting to the back. Okay, so for lesson 23, that would be his next one. These only have maybe 30-ish lessons. So they're not an entire year. So if you do want to use these for a whole school year, you're going to need more than one. But lesson 23 starts off with reading chapter 7 and 8 of the book. This is the book that goes with this. And taking notes, going over commonly confused words, a quick exercise of the above mentioned thing, and grammar, usage, punctuation, practice. And that is it for that lesson. Every day is a different lesson, just like the younger grades of language arts. No 2 days are the same, but that is a typical look at a lesson in the book studies. There is still the art component, which he does in a sketchbook, which I'll bring over. That was his last one that he did. So it does still have the same components of the language arts of the lower levels. I would just say it's a little bit shorter because it's more focused on reading the book. But yes, that is a typical lesson in a book study. Now the next lesson that I'm going to have you guys take a look at is actually the last high school year of English or language arts that The Good and the Beautiful offers. This is high school 3. Now, if you're not familiar with how high school is organized, each level comes with separated booklets. So I believe there's 10 in this one. Now, each unit is its own booklet, and a large difference from the younger grade levels is that there are no day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. And so these courses are designed for your high schoolers to learn how to manage a workload themselves and decide what needs to be done on what day. So for this one, you're not going to be able for me to show you like this is what one typical lesson would look like, because that is not contained in the high school levels. But the high school levels do include all of the components that we all have grown to love in the language arts from The Good and the Beautiful. And every unit has a grading rubric right on the front. It tells you exactly how to grade it. It is so simple and very convenient. It also does include check boxes, so that is the same, but it's designed for your high schooler to work through on their own, deciding one day if they have less time, they might only do a page or two. Other days, they might do more than that. When they're writing an essay, which each unit does contain of various lengths, they might decide that they want to work on that for an entire week. And so it is just designed for them to work through it at their own speed. There are also memorization cards that are included when you buy it that they work on daily. And so this Unit 5 is Southeast Asia practice and East Asia practice. So they're memorizing the locations and names of all of these countries, and then the answers are directly on the back for quizzing them. A rule of thumb in my homeschool is that no unit should take longer than 2 weeks of school time. So if we reach that point and I haven't received it, then I'm asking questions. But so far, this has been very, very good for my kids to learn how to see a large, I mean, it's not huge, but just see something big and learn how to break it up themselves. In college, it's the same way. They're not telling you, you need to turn this in on this day, this day, this day. It's, you have a 3,000 word essay and it's due by Sunday. And then it's up to you to figure out how to map that out. And so I am super grateful that The Good and the Beautiful contains that. Another thing about the high school is that no two units are the exact same. So Unit 4 is different. Unit 5 is different. And so, you know, it's not repetitive and boring. And it does contain the art. It does obviously contain geography, grammar, spelling, reading, and writing in the high school levels is very, very good. And what I've seen with my own kids, one who is now in college, very preparatory for college. So that's going to be it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this little update and chat that we had at the beginning. I will link to The Good and the Beautiful down below for you guys, and I will also link to their Math 7 video if you want to check that out. Thank you so much for watching and being here all of these years later, especially if you're someone who's been watching my channel for The Good and the Beautiful content almost a decade later. I am super thankful to have you and grateful to continue to partner with The Good and the Beautiful, even if it is going to look a little bit different as I head into 2024. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye.